In a dramatic cabinet shakeup, Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, made sweeping changes to his government by removing Immigration Minister Marc Miller and appointing Rachel Bendayan as his replacement. This change is part of a broader strategy by Carney to reassert his leadership and navigate to the pressing issues facing the country, such as rising immigration challenges, trade tensions with the U.S., and internal restructuring of the Liberal Party. Rachel Bendayan, who represents Outremont in Quebec, takes on the role with significant experience. A former city councillor in London, Ontario, Bendayan's appointment is seen as a strong move to address immigration in a way that aligns with the evolving needs of the Canadian population. She also has a background in political science, with a degree from Carleton University, and experience as a settlement worker, which positions her well to handle the complex demands of Canada's immigration system. Her appointment brings a fresh perspective to a role that has been critical in managing the country's diverse immigration needs. Prime Minister Carney, who assumed office after Justin Trudeau's resignation, has embarked on a mission to reshape the federal government and deal with both domestic and international challenges. His cabinet, which is smaller than Trudeau's previous one, includes prominent figures such as François-Philippe Champagne as finance minister and Mélanie Joly as foreign minister. Carney has also made it clear that he intends to prioritize national economic issues, such as the cost of living and international relations, particularly with the United States. Carney's government has already taken steps to address these concerns by abolishing the controversial consumer carbon tax, signaling that his administration intends to steer Canada in a different direction. The reshuffle has had widespread implications, as it also resulted in the reassignment of several key figures. Transport Minister Chrystia Freeland, a longtime member of Trudeau's cabinet, has been offered a new role, signaling a shift in Carney's priorities. Other ministers like Marc Miller and Jean-Yves Duclos were also dropped from the cabinet, further emphasizing the desire for new leadership within Carney's government. These moves reflect Carney's vision for a cabinet more in tune with the changing political landscape in Canada. Cabinet reshuffles are not uncommon in Canadian politics, and they often serve as a way for a prime minister to recalibrate their administration in response to shifting public opinion or emerging crises. For Carney, the reshuffle provides an opportunity to bring in new talent like Bendayan while addressing the complex challenges of immigration policy, national unity, and economic growth. Given the heightened political pressure surrounding trade with the U.S. and the ongoing challenges related to immigration, Carney's moves are seen as a critical step in ensuring that his government remains agile and responsive to the needs of Canadians. The new Immigration Minister, Bendayan, will likely face significant challenges in her new role. With the influx of migrants and ongoing debates about Canada's immigration policies, her leadership will be crucial in balancing the country's need for skilled labor with the demands of Canadian citizens and residents. Bendayan's ability to address these issues while maintaining public trust will be essential for her success in the role. The cabinet shakeup also sets the stage for the upcoming general election, which Carney has indicated will take place soon. His reshuffling is aimed at making his government more responsive to the demands of voters. It's clear that Carney is positioning his team to handle the critical challenges facing Canada, while also ensuring that his administration is prepared to run a successful campaign in the coming months. In conclusion, the appointment of Rachel Bendayan as Canada's new immigration minister is just one part of a larger cabinet overhaul by Prime Minister Mark Carney. The changes reflect a new direction for the Liberal government, one focus on addressing the country's pressing issues through fresh leadership and a more streamlined approach to governance. With the political landscape shifting, the success of Carney's new cabinet will depend on how well it navigates the complex challenges ahead. Hashtags. Hashtag Canada Politics, hashtag Immigration Minister, hashtag Cabinet Reshuffle, hashtag Mark Carney, hashtag Rachel Bendayan, hashtag Marc Miller, hashtag Liberal Government, hashtag Canadian Politics, hashtag Immigration Policy, hashtag Outremont, hashtag Quebec Politics, hashtag Canadian Leadership, hashtag Political Change, hashtag Trudeau resigns, hashtag Federal Government, hashtag Mélanie Joly. Hashtag François-Philippe Champagne, hashtag Chrystia Freeland, hashtag Jean-Yves Duclos, hashtag Liberal Party, hashtag Political Strategy, hashtag Cabinet Changes, hashtag Canada Immigration, hashtag Economic Growth, hashtag U.S. Trade Relations, hashtag Carbon Tax, hashtag New Leadership, hashtag Political Reshuffle, hashtag. Federal election hashtag Canadian press hashtag Canada 2025 hashtag political reform.
Thanks for watching our video. Please hit the button and subscribe the channel.